Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore.
So I told you I would tell you what Dr. Eric Pfeiffer from the Duke University study found. Marie Chevalier said that the only difference between a guy of 40 and a guy of 70 is 30 years of experience. So you all out there have to practice and get that experience, and you'll be as good as you were when you were 30 when you're 70. So think about that. Now, ladies, the same with you. There's another emotion I want to talk about that can get in the way of good sex. And that emotion, let's see if you can guess it. What do you think it is for a minute? You think it's putting down the other guy? You think that's what it is? You think it's money? You don't have enough of it? No. The answer to the emotion of difference is anger. If you get angry at your spouse and you don't even know why you're angry, that's terribly serious. And if you do know why you're angry and you don't talk it over with your spouse, that is ludicrous. You have to tell him if you're female, or her if you're a guy. You can't let hostility run your life. So you figure out what it is that's angering you, write it down, read it over, and then go to your spouse and say, this is bothering me. And I don't want to be offensive, but I have to talk it out with you and see what he says if it's you, a woman, or see what she says if it's you, the man. Because if you hold it in, it's going to get worse. And so you have to try to talk. Now, let's just put that in a context for fun and see how that works. And if you want to call me out, again, the number is 800-336-2225, and I'll answer you right on the air. But here's the other example. A couple decides they want to read a sex manual together because they're sick of the old positions, or, you know, we have to do this at 11:15 every night, and I'm tired. I have to iron, whatever it is, she says. And he says, well, I like to come home and have a drink and play with you, and whatever he says. However, you can't argue with it. If the guy says, I like to make love to you at 5 a.m. because it starts my day the right way, that's a compliment, lady. Think about that. If you say to him, why can't we take a bath together? He better listen. You know, like on a Sunday or a Saturday when there's no work and you have time. So what I'm saying is talk it over and come to a conclusion that you want to change A or B, and then you'll enjoy your life a lot better. Now, what some couples do is share their memories when they get older, because they can't do the physical things they did when they were 20 and 30 and even 50. So you have to know how to share your memories. Use your photograph album, use your pictures that are hanging around the house in the family room, and use your memory. So I have a story that one lady I know, she introduces her boyfriend, now she's 70 and he's 80, as her ski teacher. She lives with him, but he's her ski teacher, because that's the memory, where they found each other on the ski lift when they were like maybe 50, 60. Okay, so if you can figure out your memories and how they help you, figure out your surprises for one another, for example, time of the day, activities together, and what to do if you really feel badly, how to say it, or maybe you do need a third person, a psychologist in the room with you. You can do that through your hospital. They'll get you somebody. But the anger you have to watch out for, because if you have a problem, you have to write it down and tell it to your spouse. And if your partner disapproves of it, you got to get not another partner, you got to get a helper, some psychologist somewhere that knows something about how to get you two to talk correctly. So this is part 2 of Sex After 60. And I am recommending, me, Dr. Marsha, that you have some kind of a plan to talk to each other if something's bottling you up. You don't hold it back. You say it politely, or you write it and let your guy read it or let your lady read it, and then talk about it, and then drop it a while and come back to it later. But that way, you'll get it out in the open and it won't fester. And you're in training that way. We wanted the name of this program here is Staying in Training. Sex After 60 Part 2 is Staying in Training. This is your training, how to talk to your mate, how to not explode at him or her if you don't like something, how to ask for something that you think you want, how to change something you think you don't like. That's training. It might be write it, read it, and then talk it. It might be write it, talk it, and then read it again and re-talk it. Figure it out with your mate, and you will like it yourself a lot better, and he will like himself or she. Now, let's see if we could figure out when you're getting ready to get angry. This is a sort of a tricky question, and I'm going to try to do my best to help you with it. Dr. Edward Persons, Cornell Medical School, said there's a list of signals that will help you. And these signals happen in yourself. Okay? Parsons, excuse me, that's what his name is, Parsons. Here are the signals, and you'll know them before they happen. You see, that's the trick of this. You feel flat in your relationship with your mate. That's one signal. Like, oh, there's nothing exciting anymore. We go to the market, we, walk the block. And that's, you're getting flat about it. A second thing is you get irritable about something. Whatever it is, you're irritable. I'm sick of eating meatloaf. Why don't we have mashed potatoes instead of baked ones sometimes? That kind of stuff. And you'll feel moody without knowing why. Women will cry a lot. Not guys, but women. Why, I don't know, but if you cry, you have reason. You're not crying for nothing. And another way would be you excuse yourself from your mate and you go in to see the children. If they're in their, the high school kids, you want to talk to them at times that your husband's waiting for you to do something. You are avoiding him. And when we come back, I'll tell you what to do about that.
Who's